With those questions done, you... Wait! What's that I hear? Something happening at the antique shop? Quick! I'd head over there if I were you.
Antique shop, let's see what's going down.
Following my rather superb advice, you rush to the antique shop. Something has certainly transpired here, and inside you find a man who appears to be rather shaken.
What? Who is it? I'll get you. You coming in here, stealing my antiques?
What immediately draws your attention is the classical statue the man is clearly guarding. Between you and the shop owner is a broken objet d'art. Perhaps if you reassembled it, he'd realize your intentions were honorable.
No, not 7 years bad luck.
In the altercation at the antique shop, a valuable stained glass antique was broken. Will you be able to reassemble it?
I'd struggle at this one if I was colourblind. Yeah, I think that looks good. I think. Let's try that one.
Let's see how you did. Correct you are. Well done.
Good stuff. I'm not colourblind after all.
Finished already? Oh, and aren't you the smug one? No mistakes. Look around you and be comforted. You are better than they.
Thought you'd come back for another try, hmm? Wait a minute. Oh, better. Now then, you're not my assailant. What can I do for you then, hmm?
After a little while, you manage to explain who you are and ask what happened. Did the gentleman see who tried to steal the statue?
No. Now then, I didn't get a good look at him, I'm afraid. Had a hat on, pulled down low. Asked to buy the statue. I said no. So, he tried to take it.
You ask about the statue, mentioning it bears a strong resemblance to the one Moses took from Riddle Manor.
Well, so it should. There were 3 made, each with...
Oi, that's quite enough of that. This is a police investigation, and this is a crime scene. I want no more interference from you. Out, sharpish. You're left with little choice but to depart. But your mind is in a whirl. 3 statues. Was the one Moses stole one of these 3?
Damn Inspector.
Though the fire was only this very morning, the ever-efficient clerk has matters well in hand, and the redecoration of the town hall has already commenced.
Good afternoon. I am, in fact, very glad to see you. It's been a most trying day, and I find myself at quite a loss. I had a very precise filing system, but I'm now so tired I cannot seem to remember how they were arranged before. I wonder, could you perhaps sort them for me?
Only if you go and pay me.
The clerk needs help with arranging the archives. Can you use her rule to work out how they should be?
If the numbers are added vertically, horizontally or diagonally, they will total the same amount. Quick double check on those. Yeah.
Eeny, meeny, miny. Correct you are. Great Scott, that was fast. Ooh, ooh! No mistakes made. Show off. There are no words sufficient to describe your brilliance. With the filing system arranged appropriately, you ask permission to head down to the archives.
I am sorry to have to inform you that the inspector has insisted you be granted no access to the archives. He has declared them a crime scene and quite inviolable. So as long as I'm on duty, he said, I am not to let you pass. However, I am off duty this evening.
You appear to have more allies in this investigation than the inspector.
I'm not surprised, because he's a fat twat. Let's go see Mrs. Bothersome.
From the moment you're ushered into the abode of Mrs. Bothersome, you are keenly aware that this isn't going to be easy. The corpse of a sherry bottle is silent testament as to the afternoon's activities. You soldier on regardless, and eventually ask what the issue is with the doctor.
Oh, I'm sure we just can't say. We certainly can't, not out loud. Just wouldn't be polite. Exactly, indeed. Do have a piece of shortbread.
You're about to protest when you glance down and notice that the proffered biscuits are more than simply sugary sustenance. There are 6 pieces of shortbread, and each has been cut in half. Can you place them so that they show a hidden word?
Piece together this savoury snack. Lovers.
What will the ducks reveal? Correct. Gosh, you got through that one, lickety-split, with nary a hiccup. Well done. You deserve so much more, but this will have to do. You make the bold assumption that the doctor is arranging assignations with the librarian. Your assumption seems correct, as you are answered with a great gale of girlish giggles.
Oh, absolutely. So bold and brazen, mind you. He's not the only one to have shown her attention. Yes, well, we don't need to be spreading such nonsense now, do we?
That Mrs. Gossip shows a certain reticence in discussing this story is unusual, but you catch her eyes flicking to a picture on the mantelpiece. In it, the constable stands beside Mrs. Gossip, and her every inch the proud mother. Armed with more information than perhaps the old dears intended, you depart.
And he's back off to the hotel.
You arrive back at the hotel in time for dinner, so you head straight for the dining room. However, nothing is ever simple in this establishment.
Oh, no, I don't think so. No dogs in the dining room. What? What? No unaccompanied dogs in the... Look, get this lot seated. I'll get them up before my wife sees him. I'd like to live through the night if that's quite all right. Come back, you mutt!
Once again, you find yourself working for your meal. You quickly find out why the manager was so keen to fob you off with seating his latest, rather eccentric guests. There are 8 men waiting to dine in the hotel restaurant. However, they are rather picky about who they'll sit next to. Can you seat them in a way that pleases them all?
Right, gentlemen with the same colour hat or waistcoat will not sit next to each other. This is true vertically, horizontally and diagonally. Fussy focus. That looks good. Yeah.
And your result is... Huzzah! My, weren't you in a hurry? And without a single error being made. Well done. Please take this moment to look as smug as possible. With the hotel manager in pursuit of your canine companion, you manage a relatively pleasant meal. As you enjoy coffee and biscuits, your thoughts are interrupted once more.
Never mind.
Watson has brought you the newspaper clipping you were sent by Mother, the head of intelligence of Blue Toad. You hadn't noticed the photo on the back, clearly labelled as being of a portrait loaned by Lady Snobbish to a London gallery. Her great-grandfather and grandmother are shown. The lady is wearing a familiar pearl necklace, and a very familiar statue sits on the table beside the couple. Suddenly, you have 2 places to visit this evening. The time is near when you will be asked who you believe the villain to be. This evening may reveal a vital clue, and you will need to be alert. Are you paying sufficient attention? Here are some more questions for you.
What was the man wearing who tried to steal a statue from the antique shop? A hat pulled down low? According to the antique shop owner, how many statues were made? 3. Which villagers seem to be having an affair? The doctor and the librarian. What's the picture on the back of the newspaper that Watson brought to you? Portrait of Lady Snobbish's great grandparents.
Fantastic work! Your keen eye and attention to detail will serve you well. Let's resume the investigation. You were going to meet with Lady Snobbish at the manor and also investigate the hopefully now deserted scene of the crime.
I guess we're going to the manor then.
Despite the late hour, Lady Snobbish is content to entertain uninvited guests. The fact that you wish to discuss her ancestors may have something to do with it.
You see, my family have been here since the Norman Conquest. There's a connection to Henry VII, apparently. We have several documents that prove it, though I've never had the connections explained simply. Perhaps you could try.
The lady presents you with a number of musty documents and a hopeful look. Still, this should be fun. Lady Snobbish claims to be a direct descendant of Henry VII. Can you follow her line to prove this?
Now,
That's a lot of squiggles. Oh, my eyes are bleeding. The answer's D.
And your result is... correct you are. You're finished. That was quick. No mistakes made too. You great big swat. My, aren't you terribly talented? Well done. Lady Snobbish is delighted with your explanation. While she's still in a good mood, you ask about the necklace, showing her the photo. Had she sold it? The atmosphere cools instantly.
that necklace hasn't been in the family for some time. My father took it with him when he left. Now, I should like you to leave. It's rather late, and I'm tired.
Slipping into the town hall is far simpler than you'd anticipated. Without the supervision of the redoubtable clerk, the painters have slipped off to the local public house. Nevertheless, you must be swift in your quest for answers. To the archives! You want to get round the archives as quickly as possible. Can you work out the shortest route?
You can start your journey wherever you want to, but you can't visit the same cabinet more than once.
How did you do? Aha! Correct! All wrapped up already? Great heavens! You made that look easy. Not an error in sight. Olympian intelligence deserves an Olympian reward. As you wander the forests of filing, this coppice of cabinets, you chance upon a vital clue. Buried beneath a tumbled desk, pushed aside by the firefighters, no doubt, you find a slightly scorched, utterly empty paraffin canister and a surprisingly intact box of matches. Your faithful hound gives them a good solid sniffing. Oh! With a single yelp, Watson lays the case bare. In an instant, you know exactly who used the materials you found to set the fire in the archive. It's time to go to the police. Only the constable was on duty when you arrived at the police station. Inspector Bragg was called for, though he remains to be convinced of the need to get him out of his bed.
You have been lucky so far with your wild accusations. You had better be more than lucky this time. Come on then, sharpish now.
There were 4 suspects, 4 individuals who had visited the archives at the town hall. The colonel was apparently searching for more information on Lady Snobbish. Had he found something, perhaps regarding her father, that he felt needed covering up? The librarian and the doctor were using the privacy of the archives for their clandestine meetings. Was there something even less innocent about their encounter that day? Was one of them being less than honest with the other? The jeweler was researching a valuable necklace which had left the possession of the Snobbish family under mysterious circumstances. Had she found evidence that would prevent her making a significant sale? One of these individuals has been caught out. Which one? Can you deduce the culprit and prove yourself worthy of your role as a blue-toed detective? Player 1, you get to choose first. Select your villain by pressing the corresponding button on the controller.
This time we're going with the librarian.
Thanks to the arrival of Watson, the best nose in Blue Toad, you now know the guilty party is the librarian. When Watson had a sniff of both the librarian and the arsonist's tools you found in the archive, he let out the same yelp. If the librarian had hoped the fire would destroy the evidence of her crime, she is about to receive an unpleasant shock.
You had better be right about this. I don't want to be disturbing honest folk at this time of night. Come on, Constable. Well, come on then, sharpish.
Yes, sir.
Only what, Constable?
Nothing, sir. You used your talents to select the correct suspect. Many congratulations on a job well done. The librarian has been working late and is just locking up when you all arrive.
Ralph, what's...
Maggie,
That's enough of that, Constable. Madam, I'm asking you to accompany me down to the station to answer some questions about
It was me.
Eh? It was? I confess. You've dragged it out of me. Why, you ask? What would you know of my motives? You, with your leaden souls, dragged down by earthly matters. I did it for love. Yes, for love.
For that doctor, you mean?
Doctor? Ha! How little you know. Must I tell all? You brutal man, Inspector. I will.
Look out!
She's dead.
Oh
In
no.
a screech of tires and a flash of headlights, another body lies on the streets of Little Riddle. You knew that your foe was a dangerous one, but now you have a glimpse of the depth of darkness you must defeat. Do you have the strength, the intellect, the audacious courage needed to bring to justice the master criminal at work here? You will find out soon as you prowl the streets, seeking to finally close the Blue Toad Agency file on Little Riddle in Death from Above. So, how well did you do in that episode? Player 1. Marvelous.
So yet again we're left with loads of unanswered questions. Oh, it's exciting stuff. Oh, we'll have to wait to episode 4 to hopefully find some more answers, and probably a load more questions that will need answering. We'll catch you all again soon.